Did you know that the Nubians are descendants of Central Nile Valley peoples, thought to be one of the earliest civilizations? Nubian is an ethno-linguistic group related through a shared ethnicity and language. The region of Nubia, which translates to gold in the ancient Egyptian language, was originally referred to as Kush and is located in modern-day southern Egypt and northern Sudan. The kingdoms of Kush would survive for an astounding 3,000 plus years. Tasatai, meaning land of the bow, or Ta-Nehesi, meaning land of the black, were common nicknames attributed to Nubia, as Nubians were skilled black archers. In fact, Nubian rock art depicting the use of bow and arrows dates back to the Neolithic period of the Stone Age. The Kushites, or Nubians, were illustrated in Egyptian art as being darker skinned and wearing brightly colored earrings and animal skin clothing. The Nubian prince Hekenefer, as shown in the image, held noble status within the lower Nubian region of Mayam. Bones of Nubians belonging to the X group classification, which dates from 350 to 550 AD, contain traces of the antibiotic tetracycline. A study by chemist Mark Nelson found that the Nubians were intentionally digesting the antibiotic through beer. To put this amazing feat into perspective, tetracycline was not discovered until 1948. The Kingdom of Kush, which quote unquote dominated the region of Nubia for over 3,000 years, end quote, held capitals at Kerma, Napata, and Murrowey. Nubian rule is organized into chronological divisions named after the location of the capital. The Kingdom of Kerma, for example, describes the period from 2500 to 1500 BC. The Kerma kingdom was situated in southern or upper Nubia and accumulated its wealth from its gold deposits. Archaeologists have uncovered fortified structures surrounding the city, as well as ditches, towers, and tefufas. Tefufas, which date back 9,500 years, are mud brick structures located in the center of the city of Kerma. Reaching a height of 59 feet, the tefufas served as temples or chapels and were specifically designed to increase air circulation. Ultimately, the Kingdom of Kerma fell in 1500 BC, but the legacy of the Kingdom of Kush would remain strong. Fun fact, Kerma was also the first civilization to use elephants in warfare. A great city, said to be the mother city of the other Ethiopians. Greek writer Herodotus in 430 BC. Keep in mind that during this period, the term Ethiopian referred to all people south of Egypt. Murrowey, in modern-day Sudan, became recognized as the capital of the Kingdom of Kush around 590 BC, thus establishing the Meroitic Kingdom. Interestingly, the earliest Murrowey settlement dates back to 890 BC. Due to its prime trading location, Murrowey fostered the wealth of the Nubian economy and allowed the city to prosper from about 750 BC to 350 BC. Murrowey was such a quote-unquote wealthy metropolis that a Persian king reportedly ordered a campaign to conquer the city in the 6th century BC. Sadly, Murrowey would fall between 330 CE and 350 CE after it was infiltrated by the Kingdom of Aksum or the Aksumites. 200 Murrowey Pyramids, all of which date back to 2,700 to 2,300 years old, serve as a reminder of the great Meroitic kingdom that flourished in that region for centuries. Did you know that between 170 BC and 314 CE, 7 Meroitic queens held the title of Candace, which translates to Candace or Queen Mother? One of the most notable kings of Murrowey was King Urigames, who reigned from 295 to 275 BC. Urigames was the first Murrowey ruler to give queens quote-unquote complete autonomy or control over domestic and foreign affairs. Kandake not only negotiated peace treaties, but also led their armies into war. Interestingly, all Kandake were illustrated as obese women in order to emphasize the great political power they held. Shannak ascended the Murrowey throne in 170 BC, thereby making her the earliest known Nubian queen. Her tomb is one of the largest Kush pyramids ever constructed. Amanirenas, who held the title of Queen Mother from 40 BC to 10 BC, fought numerous battles against Augustus Caesar's forces in the Meroitic War. During battle, Amanirenas was blinded in one eye. In 22 BC, Amanirenas negotiated a peace treaty between Rome and Kush that protected all Nubian land and forced the Romans out of Egypt. Amanishakheto, also known as the warrior queen of Nubia, ruled Meroe from 10 BC to 1 CE. Amanishakheto subdued Caesar's army after he broke the treaty and attempted to conquer Nubia. Amanishakheto was also a great pyramid builder, as seen in her palace residence as well as her elaborate tomb. The image to the left is of the Pyramid of Amanishakheto. Amanitur reigned from 1 CE to 20 CE and was another great Nubian pyramid builder. Meroe also grew in wealth under Amanitur's leadership due to gold deposits and the exportation of textiles, exotic animals, and jewelry. The Pyramid of Amanitur is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Nubian influence existed outside of the great kingdoms of Kush, as exemplified in Egypt. Did you know that the pharaohs of Egypt's 25th dynasty were Black Nubian kings? The decline of Egypt during the New Kingdom period allowed the Nubian city of Napata to increase its economic and political control, thereby paving the way for Nubian rule in Egypt from 746 BC to 653 BC. Narmer, also believed to be Menes, united Upper and Lower Egypt into a singular state around 3150 BC, and is therefore regarded as the first pharaoh of Egypt. Narmer descended from Upper Egypt, a region first inhabited by Black Africans around 8000 BC. Such evidence points to the hypothesis that Menes was of Kushite descent. The origin of the 25th dynasty, however, can be traced back to Kashta, a quote-unquote Kushite king who lived in the 8th century BC. His son Pi ascended the Kush throne around 747 BC and solidified Nubian rule in Upper Egypt. Under Pi, the kingdom of Kush stretched from Napata in Sudan to Thebes in southern Egypt. Pi's brother, Shabaka, reigned from 716 to around 696 BC. Confusingly, Shabaka is considered the founder of the 25th dynasty because of his militant efforts to reacquire Lower Egypt. While Lower Egypt was previously conquered by Pi, the territory gained its independence. Outside of his campaign for Lower Egypt, Shabaka largely promoted peace and unity throughout ancient Egypt. Fun fact, the Greek writer Herodotus notes that Shabaka was responsible for outlawing capital punishment. Around 696 BC, Pi's son Shabaku ascended the throne. Shabaku disregarded Shabaka's previous policy of peace with the Assyrians and took a more direct approach. The Assyrians were a militant ethnic group indigenous to the Middle East and Western Asia. One image depicts Shabaku and his brother Taharka gathering an army at Thebes. The Old Testament, more specifically, speaks of a 701 BC battle between the Ethiopian king Taharka and an Assyrian leader. Historians agree that this quote-unquote Ethiopian king is the Nubian Taharka. Taharka, who was nicknamed the Emperor of the World, was crowned the King of Kush following Shabaiku's death in 690 BC. Under his jurisdiction, Nubian rule extended from Libya in North Africa to Phoenicia in the Mediterranean. The 25th dynasty, however, officially fell in 653 BC, following the reign of Tantamuni. The nearly century long rule of the quote unquote Ethiopian pharaohs was a period of great political, militant, and economical strength. The influence of Black Africans was not just limited to the 25th dynasty. Mummification was a crucial aspect of Egyptian culture, but could it have been independently invented elsewhere in Africa? The Tashwinot mummy was discovered in 1958 in Libya. The mummy was male, around the age of 2.5 to 3 years old, and is believed to be of Black or mixed race. The child was wrapped in antelope skin and leaves, while an ostrich eggshell necklace, hint hint, think back to the sand people, adorned its body. Carbon 14 dates indicate that the mummy dates back to 3500 BC, which is older than the first known Egyptian mummies of the Second Dynasty. The rock burial shelter was also home to a quote unquote painted mummy figure bound in many cloths and tied with bands, end quote, similar to the illustration of mummified Egyptians. On another note, Egypt's oldest ivory figurines can be traced back to the Black Bandarian people who were the first agrarian civilization in Upper Egypt. The Egyptian bird animal gods also find their origins in the rock art of the Tassili Mountains. Anthropologist Henry Lote said that the quote unquote people of Negroid type were painting men and women with the beautiful and sensitive realism before 3000 BC and were among the originators of naturalistic human portraiture. Ultimately, it is important to recognize the extraordinary feats of African civilizations, as credit is long overdue. I hope you enjoyed this final episode of the mini educational series, The Untold Truths of African History. Please remember to follow our Instagram account at lkbulan_unfiltered and to fill out the second of the two Google Form attendance sheets. Asante or thank you and Kwaheri, goodbye.